Howdy y'all, this is Dwight and welcome back to my channel. Well, we have had our first freeze of the year. We got down into the low 20s and even one night was in the upper teens. So I got to try to keep all my trees and whatnot alive best that I can. So I thought I'd show how things are going and what I did for my trees that aren't rated to be able to stand as cold of temperatures compared to some of the native trees. So I'll turn you around and we'll take a look. Okay, well of course I put everything in my greenhouse and I had the door shut and I had the little vent windows all shut down as well. And I opened them up this morning because we are forecast to be back up about 60 or so, I reckon. So these are the ones that I left here in my little greenhouse. Got my wisteria. Now on some of these we can tell that the cold has kind of did a number, even though they was protected. So time will tell to see how well this goes. Here's a bush boy wanted. Ain't did nothing with it since, but we will see what happens with that, I guess. Here's my little beech. He's doing good. And now along the way, we're going to see that I slip potted a few of my trees. Has been 2 or 3 weeks ago. Enough time to hopefully get them settled. Didn't do nothing with the roots. Didn't disturb no dirt. I just slip potted them. That way they'd be in a bit bigger of a pot. Because this was in a very small pot. And I got thinking I don't want the roots to freeze at least near as easily. So I slip potted a few into a bigger container. Now here is my Eastern Red Cedar. It has did very well for me this year. My first year having it here in this pot from my harvest. And I am planning on doing some drastic work to that come early spring. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. Now over here in this corner, I've got 3 little containers. And I have some seeds in those that I'm going to see if I can't get any sprouts for next spring. And I'm going to let them do just natural with the freezes and temperature changes throughout the winter. See how that does. This one here got some apples. And I got a wild hair and saved some seeds, so I got some apple seeds in there. These ones here are some Japanese black pine seeds. That was a promotion for Bonsai heirloom. So I got those in there, and this one was another wild hair. It's a peach seed. So we'll see how that goes. I actually got another packet of seeds in yesterday in the mail, matter of fact, that I'm going to be getting in soil here quite soon. And of course we will see what happens with those, and I will let you all ponder on what I got for those. This here is my forsythia, or his common name is Easter bush. It's done really good. Now that's one of those I've been experimenting some pruning, so next spring I've got some decisions I'm going to need to make with that. Now in the back, got a couple little oak seedlings that sprouted this past spring. So far those are doing rather nicely still yet. I have my garden oak, and it's done very well. This is another one that I just did a slip pot because it was in a really small container as well. So I got it in a larger container to hopefully weather the winter a lot better. I brought in these here bushes I got from the hedgerow. I may or may not do something with them, but they're getting choked out. I might plant them in a different spot, or I might have fun, see what I can do, putting one in a pot. There's another little Easter bush. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with that. I do know I'm just going to let it grow because it's just a little twig, straight trunk, ain't very interesting. But it is living. Here's my little boxwood. It's doing fairly well so far. A couple little things are ground covered that I potted up and planted because I about lost them. I really like that ground cover. Has a lovely little purple flower in the springtime. And I had to save them because they about got killed off. This here is a Weigelia cutting that I took last spring. This is another one I put in a larger pot because it was just in a small cup. But it has rooted out very nicely. So I'm hoping that I can get that to survive the winter halfway decent. Gets real cold temperatures again, at least for extended periods of times. I might need to protect this one more. I don't know. I did leave it this time, and it's a little wilty looking, which I think the soil was dry, and I watered that. So hopefully it'll perk back up. If not, I will know I need to protect this better. Now this here got nipped pretty good with a cold. This one is in the last video. My mind went blank on what it was. And this is a Rosa Sharon. This is in another hedgerow. It actually has a nice slanted trunk. And I just threw this in a pot real quick. Which, this is another one that's got a decent bit of soil in it. I might need to see about getting that in a larger pot too. I'm not sure, because it got nipped pretty hard, looks like. Now, for my other ones, I stored them in the crawl space here underneath the house. So we'll take a look and see how they survived. They've been in here 3 days now. Hopefully we can see. Come right on in. There is a window there in the foundation wall, and got these trays in under here. And the first is the Chinese elm. Now this is another one that I did a slip pot into a bigger pot, because I'm wanting the roots to grow out and get nice and healthy. I got some plans for this tree, and I want it to get a little bigger, so I upsized the pot on it. And I've got some ideas of some things I might attempt to do to it in the spring. It really needs a good trim to get some of the structure good, because it's just, branches just going every which way right now. And then next is my Japanese maple. Still has some of the leaves. They turned red this spring, but as we can see, most of them has fell off, and even more of them fell off here underneath the house here. Now this is the little trident maple seedling that I got. Looks like all the leaves came off of it. So I'm hoping this is going to survive. This was a very young shoot. This is its very first year. So I'm hoping that will do well. I'm trying to protect it best I can. But I do know the Chinese elm is only rated down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And the Japanese maples, I know they're not rated for extreme freezing temperatures either. Along with the trident, I just want it to be stronger. So I'm going to attempt to not kill these if at all possible. Alright, I thought I'd show. I went ahead and I got them out from underneath the crawl space in the house. And I just give them a good watering. It's been several days. The soil I'm using does hold moisture, but they was starting to need a watering. Over here is the Japanese maple, which the leaves, some of them look like they are just hanging on. I'm just gonna let them fall off natural, I reckon. But anyhow, this has been a look at how I'm attempting to store and keep my trees alive over the winter. Anyone has any suggestions, feel free to put it down below. And until the next video, y'all take care.